Hey guys, Marsinger here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so taking a look over at the JP side, I didn't do a video about the Omega details or the Baby EZA details because both of them dropped at really odd times while I was sleeping. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here and do a show. Well, it's probably three birds in fact, because we're going to take a look at LR Omega. We're going to take a look at LR Baby's EZA, and we're going to do both of those at the same time while trying them against the SYN event, which obviously is going to come out on global very soon. So obviously if you're a global player, these units, the Omega and the EZA for Baby, are not going to be coming out until end of November / beginning of December for global, but the SYN stage is going to be out very soon on global. So if you've never seen it before, this will give you sort of an idea of what to expect. So I'm just pulling up the Omega details here because unfortunately on the private server, whilst it does put a lot of the stuff into English, which is quite useful, it does not put the units passives into English. So I still have to pull up the actual information here. Okay, so LR Omega Shenron, GT bosses 200% and 3 keys. He is a Carnival LR. His 12 key super raises defense for 1 turn, colossal damage, lowers attack, high chance to stun. The 18 key is greatly raised defense for 1 turn, mega colossal, lowers attack and defense, and seals. So he has a lot of effects on his super attacks, mainly for defense. We saw the animation play, the entrance animation. He changes int type key spheres to rainbow for 7 turns, gives all enemies attack and defense minus 25%. Then he gets key 3, attack and defense 200%, 20% attack with each attack performed up to 150, key +1 and damage reduction of 5% per GT boss's ally on the team. So if we're running a full GT bosses team with a GT bosses friend leader, he's getting 7 key and 35% damage reduction. He gets 7% damage reduction per rainbow key sphere obtained. If HP is 50% or less at the start of his turn, you can revive with 70% HP when anyone on the turn is KO'd, so not just him, which is obviously the better kind of revival. Attacks effective against all types and performs a guaranteed additional super starting from the turn in which he revives. And he does have an active skill. If we get to the point where we can use that, we'll take a look at it. So obviously on turn 1, he's starting off 283k, not a crazy amount pre-super, but bear in mind he has 35% damage reduction already. And then if we pick up, we're picking up what, 4 rainbow orbs here, so that's another 7% per orb, so that's 28. So he's got what, 35 plus 28, so 63% damage reduction in slot 1, which is pretty good. And then let's just grab this for you because you don't really need orbs. And then we'll grab, yeah, these ones for the friend Omega here. Well, actually, they're both the first one's the friend, but they're both the same. So he's going to take a super straight away. Yeah, it takes double-digit damage. Because the first phase of SYN obviously doesn't hit very hard. But, yeah, double digits on the super, thanks to all that damage reduction. And then bear in mind, he's only got 282k. But on the first super, he gets a 50% raise. So he's already at almost 400k, which isn't a lot. But then when coupled with, what was it, 62, did I say, or 63% damage reduction, that's quite significant. And then, of course, we have the 17s here as well. Not the best rotation for them, but I guess we have to... I don't know if I'll float them, actually, but we're going to check out Baby. He's on the next rotation. So Baby just had his EZA revealed, and he looks like he could be quite interesting. I misread his details when I first saw them. I didn't think he looked all that good, but now I have reread them, and he definitely seems like he's going to be pretty interesting. So I want to get SYN floated off here so we can have him linked up with the Omegas. So Baby... his 12 key greatly raises defense for 1 turn, colossal damage and lower attack, and then the 18 key is greatly raise attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal and lowers attack and defense. He gets 6 key and attack and defense 150. He gets additional 6 key and attack and defense 100%, as well as a 40% chance to crit when there is a pure Saiyan or hybrid Saiyan's enemy. So they basically just combined the 2 parts of his passive that he had before with having a pure or a hybrid Saiyan. It's a pretty solid buff, but obviously not a lot of events where that's potentially going to come into play. But He does also have additional attack and defense 100% and 40% chance to crit, which is the same buff that he's getting against those enemies when performing a super if your HP is 40% or above. So if you're 40% above and you're fighting a pure or hybrid Saiyan, he gets both. So then he will potentially be quite crazy. And then he gets an additional defense 150 and high chance to dodge if his HP is 40% or less when performing a super. So you get one or the other. You're either going to get 100% to attack and defense and then chance to crit, or 150% chance to defense and chance to dodge, which is kind of cool. And then if you're below 40%, I think, is his Great Ape, and it's guaranteed, whereas before it was a chance. So that's pretty good. So let's go ahead and do this. He starts off with a lot of ki here, so let's go ahead and grab the same type orbs, and then I know SYN prefers a large amount of orbs, but we'll just have to do this, and we'll see what we get up to here. We've got the Metal Rildo on the rotation. He is providing defensive support to all GT bosses allies. Wow, 598k from a super, jeez. Yeah, he's not the best defensive unit. I mean, he tanks the normals fine, but certainly wasn't expecting him to eat the super immediately in slot 1, but I guess it is what it is. It means we will get to see the revival with Omega, right? So, does it have a turn restriction, did I say? No, it's just if HP is 50% or less at the start of character's attacking turn, revive with 70% HP when you die. So we should get to see Omega's revival. Ideally, we would want to keep it for the harder stages, right, of the SYN fight here, because the int phase, not really supposed to be that difficult, but I think with the amount of defense power SYN has, we probably aren't getting killed here. And then we have the STR Rildo, who provides attack. Now, we've already got the active skill, but I want to save it. His active skill can be activated from the 3rd turn if the target enemy is attack or defense down, which he is, attack down at the moment, or it's from turn 6. So temporarily greatly raise attack, does ultimate damage and attack and defense minus 30% for 1 turn, and it disables the enemy action as well. So it has the action break feature, which is obviously very good. So we can get 2 rainbow orbs. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that. So not as much damage reduction as we had previously, but we do still have a fairly decent amount. Hopefully we can get the finish here rather than have to use the revival. So let's see how this plays out. Obviously we tank all the normals for double digits. Will we tank this for double digits again? Yes, nice, okay, good. Alright, so Omega. Now, Omega doesn't put out the craziest attack stats. It's the one major complaint that I've seen from a lot of people. But, I mean, GT Bosses is a team that was absolutely down bad. It was such a terrible team. And so far, this Omega, now again, we're only in the first phase, which is not, of course, the hardest part, but he's tanking everything for double digits, including supers in slot 1, and that is one of the things that this team desperately needed, was very, very strong slot 1 unit, because like AGL Super 17 hanging on by a thread, and the tech one, the LR, so fumbled he was that, of course, he doesn't get damage reduction until the turn after he gets hit, so he's not exactly a good slot 1 character. But anyway, now we have the Great Ape transformation with Baby. So this is 12 ki is temporarily greatly raise attack, do destructive damage. 18 ki is temporarily greatly raise attack and do destructive damage. And then the passive is additional 2 ki per ki sphere obtained and a high chance to crit. So given all the crit chance that he has in his passive, both in his base and his giant form, you want to go full additional on this baby. So obviously, because it's an EZA, it's a unit that a lot of people will have potentially already had built, so you're going to want to change that if possible, or with skill orbs. One of the things I've done recently since the introduction of skill orbs is just not put them on characters that don't have EZAs yet. So I think my AGL baby, when I checked my global account, had a pretty even mix of additional and crit. So then obviously it means now I can just use skill orbs that are all additional and just pump those all in. And then of course, if I do pull any additional copies, I can use those to change any of his crit nodes to additional. But I mean, the Great Ape 3.6, I mean, we're not used to Great Ape characters doing a particularly significant amount of damage anyway, so definitely not too bad here. And then 4.2 on the third one, so pretty decent, again, considering all the shenanigans that the Giant Ape abilities have. No super attack in the turn after this, as long as he has supered, which I think, did he super already? And also, if we get any turns where he does the AoEs, which I think he did on that first turn, it cancels them out as well. So then when we come out of this turn, after the giant form turn, he's not going to be able to super attack or AoE, which is obviously very, very powerful of a mechanic. Like, if you get that off in the physical phase, I guess the ideal way to go about this would be going into the final physical stage against Omega and then against SYN, and then getting the transformation with Baby, because then as soon as that runs out, you're wiping out all of his AoEs and the additional and the super, which obviously the AoEs can be the most dangerous part of the physical SYN stage, because they can hit you so hard. Like, any units that you bring into that event that essentially need to super to get their defense will just get absolutely murdered by SYN, especially if the AoEs are right at the beginning of the turn. So, I mean, the Giant Ape here actually doing a decent amount of damage. That's what we like to see, right? Like, Giant Ape forms nowadays are very useful for that cancelling out of the enemy's abilities, but he is actually doing a fairly reasonable amount of damage. And then, of course, we still have the Baby... we still have the Omega Revival available here. So we get 4 Rainbow Orbs, giving him his pretty crazy amount of damage reduction. Grab those with you, and then... I mean, we might as well just get the physical ones out of the way, I guess. So this should be another very solid turn. If he did super during the giant form, he's not supering this turn. He's not AoEing this turn, which gives all of our units here a chance to actually attack. So we should be able to do a pretty decent amount of damage to him on this turn. Hopefully Baby can pop off a little bit here as well. He's got the full 24 key. 13.8. That's pretty good, considering he has a ton of defense after you get the super off as well. And this is why you want to go full additional, because then if you get the additional 12 key, you greatly raise defense again. So very, very good. We've managed to get all the way to the final phase here without reviving, which is really, really good. Have we got enough? Can we transform into Super 17 yet? Yeah, we can. All right, let's go. Now the AoEs, I really would have liked SYN to be able to attack before the AoEs started going off, because I don't know if Tech SYN is going to get destroyed here, which, I mean, obviously we are just going to get the revival, but I would ideally have liked to get some hits in on Super 17 to start getting him built up. I mean, Omega, as long as we pick up enough Rainbow Orbs, should be okay in slot 1, but we'll see how this plays out here. Old Super 17. Power of the Ultimate Android. Here we go. So, how many Rainbow Orbs can we get? We can get 3 if we go that way. But I want to save orbs for... I want to save orbs for SYN. But we have every single link active except Legendary Power here. So Omega has 400k start of turn, and then SYN has 151. I think SYN probably just gets clapped by that first AoE, to be honest. And we can't really put him in slot 1. But if Omega gets these, he already has a pretty decent amount of damage reduction. Although, actually, we have healed too much and lost the revive. So that is kind of awkward. I think it's very possible that SYN just gets killed now. But let's see how this plays out. Alright, so double digits from the normal is kind of what we would expect. And then we are at 9-9. So basically 10 mil with SYN, with Tech SYN. I mean, that's not too bad. Considering how ridiculous he is defensively, I would say that's not too bad. But now this is the real indicator here. Let's see how much SYN's taken. 338k. Okay. Well, I mean, as long as he doesn't get supered here, especially if we get an additional super, because SYN, I think, is one of those units that gets most of his defense on super attack. So, yeah, a bit wild. It's a shame that we did lose the additional, because the revive, because all we need to do is survive this turn, and then we get the revival up again. But there is, what, 1 more AoE coming, so I don't know how SYN tanks the AoE after doing his normal attack, because the AoEs from SYN are pretty strong. So, but obviously SYN will have picked up quite a significant amount of defense from the orbs and attacking and everything. So, let's see. Double digits, and then double digits. Nice. So yeah, once he's attacked, it's double digits. That's fine. And now we have the revival ready to go. So we also have the active skill. I think we should use the active skill here. So if we put you in the middle, I don't think you get any extra links active, but let's go ahead and use this. It cancels out one of the actions. See how much damage we can get off of this. I mean, the animation is cool. So yeah, not a lot of damage, and no crit doesn't help, but yeah, not a lot of damage there is not really ideal. Do you get any extra links from you? Oh, you get Shattering the Limit and Thirst for Conquest. Okay, well, we'll keep you there then. So we'll do this. This gives SYN a pretty decent amount of damage reduction. I think what's most likely going to happen here is that we are going to... I think even Baby will be fine because he gets to super first. So I think what's most likely to happen here is Omega is going to be fine, Baby's going to attack and he's going to be fine, and then after Baby attacks, he's going to do his AoEs, and I think Rildo is probably going to get killed. But I guess we'll see how that pans out here. Because Omega just tanking everything that gets thrown at him, which is really good. 7.7 for Baby here, because we are below the HP, right? So we're getting 150% extra defense instead of extra attack. So that's why his attack stats are a lot lower. 121k. Yeah, so I don't know how much. He does get some defense on super. I mean, if he survives the turn, it's fine, because then we can just get the revive on the next turn. So we're going to be looking good here either way, to be honest. 21. Wait, yeah, so he's actually going to live the turn, isn't he? This free-to-play STR Rildo provides, I think it's attack support to GT Boss's allies. So, yeah, he's doing a good job here. Alright, so no AoEs. Oh, look at this. He's only AoEing at the very end. Wow. Alright, well, yeah, I guess we are not dying this turn either. So let's do this. We can get 7 orbs for SYN. I mean, we might just die just for the sheer lack of HP that we're on overall. But considering this is literally the first attempt, I mean, we've had a couple of close shaves, but this is the first attempt on this stage. 11.1 now, linked up with SYN, and then the support from Metal Rildo at the end. So, plus, of course, remember, Omega is building up each time as well, right? Because he's getting 20% attack with each attack performed up to 150. So the more attacks we do, the more powerful he becomes. SYN with the double super here. I mean, this hasn't been a particularly quick run, but yeah, I feel like we are actually just going to do this on the first attempt, which is pretty funny. So yeah, Rildo, not a huge amount of attack here. This guy, when he gets an EZA as well, will be another really strong piece for this team. Okay, he takes more damage than I thought. Alright, so let's go ahead and see the Omega Revival now. So, it doesn't do any damage or anything like that. It's just a revival, and we revive with 70% HP. So, I can't remember which one of the Shadow Dragon's abilities that is, because the whole point for Omega is that he has all of the abilities of all of the other Shadow Dragons. But it does remind me, it's very Boo-like because of the colouring. So, this is a bit of a shaky rotation, actually, because Baby, how much defense does Baby have? 221. Yeah, see, with the AoEs in slot 1 now, this is a bit unfortunate, because Baby, I think, might take quite a lot of damage here. And we can't really get the Dokkan attack. I mean, I can grab same type orbs here with both of these two. Is that going to be enough? It might be. Oh, it is. Is that going to be enough damage, though? That's the question. So, double digits, yeah. 261, yikes. And then we still got one more of those to take, which we will live, and then Baby will attack. And then I think everybody takes double digits. So actually, I think we should be fine. Alright, so let's go for this. It's only 8.8 for this Omega, but we hit all but one of the nodes. So it should do a pretty decent amount of damage here. And then, yeah, Baby only has to live that one AoE. He could dodge, but he only has to live that one more AoE. And then once he attacks, he should be fine, right? Because his buff for the 100% attack and defense or 100%, 150% defense is on super. So that means now that it's his turn to attack, he now is getting the 150% defense and chance to dodge, because when he super attacked, he was below the HP threshold. So that is kind of cool, actually, because if you take a big hit in slot 1, it's then like he shifts into defensive mode, which is actually more beneficial. But then, of course, he didn't dodge the super attack. So, I mean, there you go. I think that was a pretty good showing. We unfortunately didn't luck out with the super dodge, but I mean, yeah, both of these units looking pretty interesting. Omega, my first impression is definitely not that he's as bad as everybody was making out, especially with the defense. And then when it comes to Baby, I think he's definitely looking pretty good. On those offensive turns, he can hit quite hard. On the defensive turns, he's got good defense and backed up by a chance to dodge. But unfortunately, as you see there, RNG can always not go your way and it could end quite badly. So let me know what you guys think. If you're on JP, are you excited to summon for Omega? If you're on Global, are you looking forward to these guys coming out later on in the year? Obviously, this is part 2 of the celebration with the full power LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who I know a lot of people are really excited for. So let me know down below in the comment section. So that's going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.